What's up, YouTube? It's QahirTheConqueror here. Welcome back to my channel for yet again another video. Before I get started with this video, I would like to say if you enjoy this content in any way, and if you resonate with this video and any of my content in any way, please drop a like, comment, and/or subscribe. It would help me a lot, and I would really appreciate it. Now, before I begin, I do want to say I'm recovering from some kind of cold or something like that, so please bear with my voice and my congested sound if you can. I spoke about this a little bit before, and probably a few, or I know for sure at least one of my TikTok videos, and I've heard this along the way, and I've seen and read this, and before I even start with my conversation, a book I want to introduce you guys to that helped me tremendously in my journey, and I may read it again at some point, The Alchemist by Paul. I don't know what his last name is, but I know his first name starts with P. Paul, I'm pretty sure. Also, probably motivational speakers or just people who are, giving some sort of, mindset approach kind of thing like that. Make sure that you understand this. This applies to anybody, whether you're pursuing a degree, pursuing a diploma, high school, whether you're trying to be a professional sports athlete, whether you're trying to be a professional in the workforce, whether you're trying to be a politician, whether you're trying to be a parent, and certain things I can't even apply to, but the theme resonates the same. The process is way more important than the end point. I want to say this again. Don't let it go over your head. Think about it, and then of course listen to the video. The process is way more important than the end point. Now, to paint the first picture before I start, that might make sense to you, it might not. When I heard that and read that and just kind of started thinking that way, my mind was blown, because we're inadvertently taught, and not on purpose, but accidentally, it's taught to get there. Get there. And once you do, then what? Once you get there, now what? They don't really talk about that. They don't tell you that. You're kind of on your own once you do. Said with the picture I want to paint, let's think about a sports team. Because if you follow professional sports, even collegiate sports and amateur sports and things like that, but a sports team, you have preseason, and if not, training camp before that, or actually maybe tryouts, training camp, preseason, season, practices and games, playoffs, championship. Let's say you make it all the way through all of that, and you win the championship. Let's be honest. Although that is mesmerizing, although that is one of the best accomplishments that you can have in your life, and sometimes that literally could be, it's just completely transformative for some people that experience the celebration, the love, all of that stuff is so wonderful in the moment. And the moment could be a month, the day of, a week, it could be a year that you get to float on that high. But that's temporary. It's temporary, and it's gonna go away at some point. So no, that doesn't mean that it's not as good. It doesn't mean don't savor it, enjoy it, and party and turn up, whatever you do. But let's go back to what I said. The process is way more important than the end point, because think about it. And I do want to preface this by saying I've played sports. You probably can kind of tell from my build, and I mention sports a lot. It's a great thing to connect the dots to, because whether you played or if you haven't, sports can teach us a lot about the society we live in, the world, and things like that. And you have an advantage if you played sports, whether you were good or not, and then compared to people who haven't, you have an advantage. I'm pretty sure if we ask people, when you're celebrating and partying and turning up and woo, what do they say? Because I watch sports, I hear them say, oh man, I want to thank my coach, my family, my partner, my teammates. all those hard nights when I was, recovering from an injury and blah, blah, blah. Let's stop right there. What do you think about in the moment when you make it over that hump, you overcome the odds and you successfully win? We're probably gonna think about the process, everything that you had to go through to get to that point. And it might not even just be tailored to your unique experience on that team. It could be your life, it could be your childhood, it could be 3 years ago, it could be whatever it is. That is why I think, and I'm saying, and I feel that the process is way more important than the journey, because the end point, because once you get there, then what? You only get so long to savor that moment, and you cannot ride on that for the rest of your life. If you win it or whatever it is, you get there at 20, you get there at 16, you get there at 40, you get there at 33, you get there at 60, whatever it is for you, whatever your championship is, once you get there, you can't enjoy it like you did the same for the next decade, 20, 30, 40 years. There's gonna be somebody else. Like I said, whether it's being a professional sports team, it's gonna be another team that's gonna win within a decade. Whether it's becoming a lawyer, it's gonna be a whole bunch of more lawyers. Whether it's becoming a judge, getting your degree and your diploma, there are hundreds of kids and people enjoying that moment, but that shouldn't be your defining moment for the rest of your life. It's something that you use as an accolade and you take it on as a badge of honor. But you can keep winning. You can have multiple championship rings, and then you can start winning outside of whatever it is that niche is. Because like I said, sports is just one small example in this case. The days that you are wanting to give up, the moments where you feel weak and uneasy, where you're unsure, you can't see in front of you, or you have tunnel vision and you're grinding and putting that work in. Yeah, your head is down, your nose is down, you're not concerned with the outside perspectives, you're concerned with the task at hand. That is more rewarding than a temporary celebration of victory, because that's where you built that winner. That's where you built that successful foundation. That's where you built that camaraderie and that teamwork and that love and appreciation for whatever it is you're doing. That is what you need to learn how to enjoy and celebrate the same as you do when you finally win. I'm telling you this as somebody who didn't think that way all the time, and sometimes that makes you kind of like not be happy in the moment, and you overlook what is gonna eventually go away. You won't always be able to study and be able to focus on getting your degree or your diploma the same, because eventually it'll be pretty difficult to do when you have other responsibilities. You can't always play the sport that you love. Eventually you'll either have life to do or you won't be physically able. You won't always be able to have and produce healthy children. You won't always be able to, whatever it is, whatever your championship or your goal is for you, you might not always be able to do that. So don't overlook those times in between where you're grinding and hustling and you're building that person that you become on the other side, because you're so focused on getting there. Because like I said, once you get there, then what? You're stuck. What do? You got there already. So how long are you gonna celebrate? Now you gotta move on to something else. And I'm not trying to make you into some overachiever just because I and some other people like me are, because you can have peace and contentment once you get whatever it is that you want to get. But make sure that you're enjoying the process. The process can sometimes suck, it can hurt, it can be painful. The process of finding love, of loving yourself, that can do damaging things to you. But at the same time, it can make you appreciate yourself, life, and whatever it is on another level, because that is where you find out what you're made of, what you're capable of, who you are, and what you're meant to do and be, and what you can contribute to whatever it is that you contributed to. The process is just as good, if not better, than the end goal, because I want to mention this and stress on this. If you consistently show up and do the work, it is a high % chance that you're gonna see the results. If you build your credit and you get a good credit score, you can buy stuff and leverage stuff. So once you get the car or the house or the loan or whatever, then what? You have to make sure that you enjoy whatever it is that you're doing to get there, because you're probably gonna get it. So you don't want to look on the other side and go, oh my gosh, I was chasing this and I didn't enjoy the moment in between. If you consistently show up at school and do the work, you're gonna pass and get the diploma, degree, certification, whatever it is. And then what? If you show up and you get the job, once you get the job, then what? Now you have to keep it, maintain it, and you have to live more life. Once you win, then what? Go win it again. Go get another championship. Go get 3, go get 4, go get 5. Keep winning until you can't. To summarize this video, I just want you, and tell other people around you, share that spirit, because we're all winners. You don't have to be a winner just because you're gifted or able or something like that. Like, that's not how it works. You don't have to be born a winner. You don't have to always have won to know what it's like to win. You can start winning now if you put the work in. Mentally, I built myself into a winner and built and developed a winning mentality because I started to appreciate the journey and the process, because that is where you'll feel the most rewarded. That is where you love and you show up for yourself and you pick yourself up. That is where you really feel the most satisfied, because you see the hard work that you're putting in each and every day and the dedication that you put in each and every day. That's where winners are built. Like I said, if you put the work in, you're probably gonna get there. So don't get there and then you don't know what to do. Get there and then now you know how to keep winning and how to keep showing up for yourself and doing whatever it is that you need to do. The process is way more important than one end goal. Now, if that's your only goal, then hey, that's for you. And cool, I'm happy with that if you're happy with that. But don't let that define you for the rest of your life if you can do more. Make sure you enjoy the process, because you might not always get the privilege to put the work in for whatever it is that you need to do. Make sure you enjoy it. Thank you. Stay tuned. See you for the next one.